Foundation of a conscious relationship must be truth and growth. There needs to be a love for finding a deeper unveiling of things that have been holding us back, and that when you find the truth of things, it is received, valued, loved, and from that, you see the growth in your partner and yourself. As men, it is led by us, and our logic and ability to decipher things and use it artfully is our gift. But we need to be artful with it, because sometimes that logic gets in the road of you dancing with her emotion instead of the words. Anyway, it needs to be grounded in the truth. Other people might say God is the third person in the relationship. It is the connection to something higher that you're striving for, might be the wrong word, but it guides the relationship. There's no playing in fantasies and delusions. Now, finding a woman who actually wants to take on that path is difficult. You need to understand that most women have never been in a conscious relationship with a man who leads it and leads it for the good. You also have to realize that most women haven't been led by a father that they fully respect and have been able to surrender to his lead. Therefore, the initial phase of the relationship is often a lot of triggers. Conscious women who are actually on the path can intuit that a masculine man is essential for their next phase of growth. Obviously, there's the biological and hormonal things that might skew, or just there's this need to have them for babies and things. But if it's an actual woman on the path, they can feel that a man in his power will have keys to their advancement. This is crucial, and your ability to hold your center and be courageous enough to speak the truth, even when a trigger is coming, is essential. The triggers are hard to hold as a man, but if you see the potential in the woman, I have experienced that the triggers initially are happening a lot, especially if you're just a man who holds your energy and has to call out delusions when he sees them. Once a woman trusts you and can see you're doing this because you have to, because you're a man of integrity, but also because you see it as benefit to her and her growth and her ability to be more in her heart, then once she sees that happening, this is where she falls deeper and deeper in love with you. And she goes, wow, finally, there's a man calling me on my shit. And within a month, the amount of work she's done in the relationship is 100 times greater than the work she's done on her feminine by herself. The relationship is just like the amplifier, the catalyst for this like rapid growth if done well. But her ability to be able to receive your truth and then to actually see growth from it, that she's not getting triggered by the same thing over and over again, this is where the gel comes in. It was by far the favorite thing of my partner about me, was the ability to be able to sit in the chaos there, find what the actual root of it is, deliver it in a way to show her that's not actually the truth of things, for her to receive it, which was her superpower, that when we actually identified the truth, she would feel it as like, oh my God, that's it. I'd be like, that's it. And then from that, our connection had just gone, like when you find that place, even though it might have been a hard trigger or whatever happened, that connection you have back there is just like boof. A side effect of that was I felt like she was almost becoming addicted to that process that would often create chaos for me to be able to cut through it, bring back to truth, and feel that powerful connection. It is, I believe, the foundation of the relationship. is truth and growth. This is why a lot of women are saying, I want a masculine man, but not understanding that initially he's going to trigger the absolute shit out of you. But if you can receive it and be somewhat graceful in that, build trust and see that his heart is of the right intention, this is where things go to a whole new level. And as men, I understand, like, there's a lot of men who have mistreated or not been able to lead women. So they have obviously their walls up for a long time. But once you reach that phase of trust and he's actually guiding you into your highest version of yourself, the things it becomes really beautiful. And as a man, from the perspective, it's like, it's not always the man to the woman. Like, there's things that can come up for you and she's got a gift for you and you're like, whoa, that was a bit of humble pie. I'll take that on, thank you. But from my experience, it's mostly led by the man and our ability to connect to that truth and convey it. We have the gift of logic and being able to articulate it in a way that sits with your partner. This is a dance and an art that you learn through understanding each other. My ex and I could have ego stoushes, and we both know we're in the ego stoush. We could almost look at each other and wink and go, all right, we're in the ego stoush. And then because it has to, like, you can't just go, oh no, it's all perfect. No, we've got our human clashing. Let's clash. And then we could come up to the higher place at the end and resolve it on all the levels. Not a bypass, not just combat, but sort of in this intuitive, instinctual play, we would resolve it on the levels and then be back to where we needed to be. Both partners need to see the growth of the other. From the feminine perspective, it's always a man being on his purpose in some way and being a man of his word. If he says something, he does it. Women are not so much women of their word, as their words may not even mean a thing when they're in a certain emotion. So this is the dance, and a foundation of a good relationship is truth and growth. If you find one of those women, even if it's for just a chapter, it is worth exploring to see. You get to see where you're at. Relationships are a great reflection, and if you think you might be on the path, it is great to put it into practice with a woman that can actually receive your truth, which holds you in a greater responsibility, which should hopefully bring out the best of you. Obviously, some relationships don't, but a good one will bring out that side of you that you know you have. And yeah, the growth on both sides, especially for a woman to be able to trust a man in receiving them, that their teaching or maneuvering or guidance is not from a place of I'm right, you're wrong, but hey, here's the truth of things, let's connect to that.